Okay, YouTube, getting ready to work on the floodlight outside the garden shed here. So I had the old solar panel mount for the old shed light that was inside, and what I've done is I had my LED floodlight. It's one of these 10-watt floodlight modules you can get, and I just drilled and tapped a 1/4-20 hole in the bottom, and then this had a threaded insert in there already. And I just ran that bolt down, so there's my bracket, and I'll mount the floodlight up there with its mounting bolts. And what I'm working on right now is measuring how long the wire is, because I want to be able to run the wire from the floodlight in, and then I'm coming out here for my switch. So I want to leave enough wire so I can terminate a connector on there. And let me show you where the switch is going to go. So here's the 3D printed bracket that I made. I glued that in there a couple days ago. So the switch is going to be right up here. And I just need to get the wires to the back side of the switch. I drilled a hole right here, and let me show you where that comes from. Beam, this is kind of the main ridge beam for the shed. But there's these two openings here, and I could get a long drill bit, and I drilled out through there. The switch is right about here on the outside, but you can see the material is really thick there. But right in there I'm able to get out, and then my power pass-through hole comes over here. So I'm trying to figure out how long the wires need to be. So what I'm going to do is, for the floodlight, I'll plug in here. I'll have one wire running over and out to the switch, and then from the switch back out to the light, and then from the light over to here. So I'm trying to figure out how long to cut all the cables, because I need to cut the wires to length, feed them through all the holes, and then crimp on all the terminals so that I don't have any splices in here. That way the wires all go point to point. Outside wires to the floodlight will be soldered and heat shrinked. That way that's all weatherproof. So this is the little 3D printed switch box I made the other day, and there's my switch, plugs right up in there. And I think that should keep the switch out of the weather. It's not a weatherproof switch, but I figure I would try it out. That way I have it recessed up here a ways. So I figure I'd try that switch to start with, and if I need to, I can go to a waterproof switch if that one doesn't work. So hopefully next day or two I can get my floodlight working. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I added the connector for my outdoor floodlight. So I have a coax power jack that I plugged into the power panel here, and it's got a red and black wire that run up here, and then I split the black wire off and run it outside to the switch, and then it comes back in here and runs outside to the floodlight. So let me show you that outside. Yeah, so the wire for the floodlight comes out through the same hole that I already had. Didn't want to drill any new holes in the shed, so I used the hole that I already had and kept the same two screw holes, and then I put the 10-watt LED floodlight up on top of the old solar panel bracket. And then over here I've got my switch plugged in, and right there we can flip the switch on, and we've got light. I can just reach up there, turning the switch on and off. Okay, YouTube, time to check out the floodlight here. So I got my switch up there, and there we got our light. Yeah, throws a pretty good bit of light in the backyard here. Turn around and take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. That's the light on, and there's the light off. Yeah, anyway, got the floodlight working. So yeah, I'll put a video over here on the side where I showed the modifications I did to that light, so it runs a little more efficient on DC power. Yeah, if you have any questions about that, post up in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.